Hey everybody. So first thing, well, I have 0 people watching on Twitch. This is just for YouTubers that are watching. Um, Number one, I'll go on to explain why the quality might be a little bit poor today, and number two, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm just getting a lot of people that are watching and not subscribed yet, so I'm going to be making a bunch more content in the future. So if you want to be a part of that, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate it. So, reason for this stream. Yesterday, at about 1 in the morning for me, we won a challenge with Elves and Pioneer. Really exciting. It was like 90 something people. And after top 8ing last time, it was awesome to get back-to-back top 8s. I was super thrilled. And then all the way through on the went all the way through top 8 and got the win. So this is the deck list. I'll leave it up for a moment. Thank you. Thanks, John Watts. Thanks for always supporting. Very much appreciated. So what I'm planning on doing is, so funny story. I played the challenge yesterday, but I was kind of trying to like chill out. I didn't want to play on my computer. So I played on my Surface, and all of the recap is on my Surface. You can't like if I go on my computer, the recap isn't there. So what I did, and why the quality is going to be a little bit worse today, is I recorded it with a screen cap app. So I'm just going to be watching that. So it's not going to be as crisp as usual. So sorry about the quality issues if they come up. I think it's decent. It's just not perfect. Yeah. Maybe, and also, if anybody knows a better way to do it than the way I did it, please let me know, because I'm sure something like this will happen again. Like I missed a 5-0 stream that I wanted to do a recap on because of that, but too long ago, especially with Tyvar coming out. Okay, so let's just jump right into the deck. We got 2 Skyreapings. So I took out Knight and I took out one of the Oozes for Skyreaping. The previous week, I was struggling against Angels and Spirits. Spirits tempo can like sometimes overwhelm you if you have like a grindy hand rather than a go wide hand. So I was struggling against them a little bit. I think it's still a fine matchup without Skyreaping, but either way, it's really for Angels. Angels is a pretty tough matchup without something to back you up. And I think that sometimes they overpower us, but they're slow enough that we do have the chance to like draw, I don't know, like 6 extra cards or something like that. And if we do, it's a pretty good chance to draw one of the 2 Skyreapings. So that was the mindset I went in. Once again, I removed the Knight, which was a Chord target for Angels and only Angels, really. I think that one of the things about Knight that I didn't really see before was that it really spreads my Chord of Callings thin, right? Like Chord of Calling is also already insane in the matchup, and when I'm forcing myself to like use the first one on 2, it's a little bit difficult. So I'd rather, instead of like making this really good, like making this 10% better or whatever, I just like upgrade the rest of my slots. At least that was the mindset jumping into it. But let's jump right in. We'll see how this goes. So once again, this is me on. It gets better. This is me figuring out how to use the thing. But this is just me hitting play on the game. And does it stay like? No. Okay. I was gonna say, does it stay tabbed like that? But it doesn't. Okay, it's just the first game. So once again, sorry, I can't change that right now. All right, let me back up. So we're playing against Elves, and they have a way better start than us. And we're on the draw. So they start with a Warmaster. They have the best draw that they possibly could have. Warmaster into, or 1-drop into Warmaster into 1-drop. We're trying to keep up. We have a decent thing going on. Obviously, Warmaster would be better than Dwynen's Elite, but we do have the potential to go pretty long and pretty fast with our hand. Obviously, them being on the play is big, but them not using 3 mana right there, or 4 mana right there, leads me to believe that there's a collected company in my future. I just try to, you know, get some value just in case we can go longer, try to get some damage for next turn, and they just Boseiju, which was great. We love that. That Boseiju allowed us to chord for 3 here, getting a Shaman in the pack. I want to pause right now. So I made a big mistake here to anybody watching. My first 4 rounds are like super sloppy this tournament, by the way. But I made a big mistake here in shocking with this Overgrown Tomb. So the reason I shocked is because I was like, okay, well, if I have 2 black sources, then I can cast double Shaman next turn. And I think that was a little bit of an overcommit. I have to draw a land for that to happen, but it would work out. So I don't know about shocking there, but you know, maybe. So we end up being able to get the draw here, get them to 2, and then not much else with that. I wanted a blocker, being at 18. I could have drawn a card, but I don't think we really gain anything by drawing a card. We couldn't do anything there. Going on to game 2. Once again, these are going to start getting better as I learn how to use my surface. Okay. So keep a fine hand. And also, by the way, in terms of how we boarded, I didn't board, just in case anybody was wondering. I did not board a single card. But we played Jaspera Sentinel. They kept a 6 that didn't have a 1-drop. I feel like maybe you got to go to 5, but their hand proves to be a little bit bad. Yeah, already tuned for the mirror. Yeah, perfect matchup. Breaking serve was really big, and just pausing here. I obviously don't know what this person's hand is, but I think that this line, let's say that on turn 2 they had the option to Warmaster or Leaf Crown. I think that this line is usually worse in a fast matchup. You'll want to Warmaster then Leaf Crown rather than Leaf Crown then Warmaster. I know that they're using their mana efficiently right here. I'm just commenting on it because it's elves, but I obviously don't know their hand, so I could be wrong. They could have just top decked the Warmaster or something like that. But once again, if you watch what's happening, we do have a pretty fast start. This Collected Company is not doing too many favors for us, though. Looking back, just pausing right here, I just did that Collected Company. It might have been better to just go Llanowar Visionary, Llanowar Elves, and then developed our mana for a Collected Company. It ends up being kind of the same. My mindset on Collected Company often falls into the category of if I have something better to do with 4 mana or good to do with 4 mana, I'm going to do that rather than Collected Company to avoid the fail rate. And we were definitely in a spot where we could afford the fail rate for 1 turn. But anyway, they're not using the draw here, which is a little bit scary because the draw is good for us in a race, weirdly. I'm a little bit scared of Chord right here. They could definitely Chord and overpower us. But we get to play Leaf Crown and then Collected Company ourselves, which leads into a Chord of Calling, which is nice. And they don't have Chord. Because for them, they could have Chorded for 3. But anyway, doesn't really matter what they get here. I don't even think double Shaman would have done it. But they don't get anything good enough, and we're able to get in the victory. Chord of Calling right here is really great, obviously, because it always is. We get the Shaman of the pack, and I think we have too many attackers for them. We want to play one thing in case something goes wrong. I can't even imagine what it would be. Maybe they're still playing Fog. But if something goes wrong, we have some blockers held back and things like that. Obviously, we actually just lose to Fog here, so I did not play around it. But they take the damage, and we go to the next one. This is actually kind of nice. I don't have to click through anything. All right. So we played Elves round 1. We're on the draw here. We see Plains. This is actually a moment to talk about. Seeing Plains against on turn 1, like, what do you expect? I guess I have that question. Because, like, could this be blue-white control with an awkward mana curve? Probably not. You know, maybe they play Plains. It could be mono white, but I guess they mulligan, right? So, like, they kept a 6 without a 1-drop. That definitely could be the case. Could be Angels. It's just there's so many things. And I guess I don't have really many decisions to make right here. But it becomes obvious pretty quickly. A little scary to be on the draw against Angels. We do have a pretty decent hand, though. I think that... so I play Llanowar Visionary. So I kind of don't like that I did that, though. We do need the land, so maybe that's why I did that. I think that if I could go back in time, I would have played Elvish Mystic Dwynen's Elite. That gets some aggression. It makes Chord of Calling easier in the future. It's close. I think that this line's really bad against this line's really bad against their 3-drop. What's it called? Skyclave Apparition. So I don't know if I'd make that play again the same way if I could. But this ended up being a pretty good turn. You know, Nykthos got us some extra mana, which made us play these, draw an extra card here. Pretty powerful here. They don't have a great draw, though. Youthful Valkyries, you know, they're going up, but they're not, like, buffing their board or anything. Redain is actually preventing our Collected Company and our Chord of Calling from happening, but we do have a lot of mana on untap, which is very nice. Elvish Mystic being played is kind of free. You get the extra mana with Nykthos. And then we can Collected Company. Get a really good Collected Company here. Just developing our board, ready for an untap. So if we untap, we have Warmaster, Skyclave Apparition. That must have been off the top, probably. I guess they could have drawn it last turn. This was a better turn. But Skyclave Apparition here is pretty good because they take out our Warmaster. We do obviously have Chord of Calling. It's going to cost 8 to get Shaman, but I think we get a Warmaster here because we have so much mana that an attack phase is going to be more powerful. I don't think it really mattered. I think anything that we did there was going to be good enough, but maybe we didn't have enough. It's possible. Anyway, going on to game 2. We get a solid keeper hand. Chord of Calling in combination with Dwynen's Elite is pretty powerful. I'm playing Llanowar Elves instead of Jaspera Sentinel because I want to tap an Elf next turn and then block with a Jaspera Sentinel if they played a 2-drop, which they didn't. Apparition ends up being pretty good. I think that this person made a mistake here. Maybe they haven't played this matchup, and that's the nice thing about playing Elves. A lot of people haven't played the matchups that you're playing. But I think that they should have gone for the Warmaster. We haven't revealed that we're down on lands, and keeping us off of 4 rather than keeping us on 3 rather than on 4. It makes a difference with the Collected Company for sure, but this card's just so powerful, and maybe they just didn't realize that. But anyway, untap. We drew the Collected Company, so I had it the whole time. We do it right here. Ends up being really good. This game's going to be hard for them to come back from at this point. And I don't attack so that I can Chord of Calling. So they get Righteous Valkyrie. I want to Chord of Calling for 2 here. But I just untap because... So I'm just going to pause there. So I could have Chord of Calling for 2. But with my hand, I'm kind of like free to take a draw step and make sure that my Chord of Calling does exactly what I wanted it to do. So I ended up just untapping. Chording for 2 gets a Warmaster. I don't know how much the second Warmaster really helps, but it's kind of the thing where we can't really do anything wrong with our hand. This just makes us win without attacking, which is kind of nice. Deals 20. Oh. I think I tapped wrong just in case I had to attack, but I think the math checks out here that I get 24 damage in. So that was a nice example of a game when turning 4 without attacking. All right, so we won the first 2 rounds against Elves and Angels. Angels can be a little bit tough sometimes. We are going to jump into round 3. We keep this hand like a madman. I think that this keep is the worst play I've made this tournament. So ignoring this Collected Company, look how bad this hand is. I think I don't know what was happening. Maybe I was distracted or something. Jaspera Sentinel doesn't cast, like playing Jaspera Sentinel doesn't even cast a single card in my deck. So that was horrible. This game 1 is a travesty. But if we're going to throw one away, the one to do it on is Phoenix, right? Matchup's so bad with my current board plan. I don't think Phoenix is great in the meta, from my understanding. So I don't mind Phoenix being the deck that I'm kind of like choosing to throw away. Like, we can still win it. It's just definitely really, really hard. This game ends up being pretty unexciting. They're even removing our Elvish Visionaries, and it's like working for them. So you know it's a bad start when that's happening. I don't know if we ever find the 3rd land. This hand had potential. You know, we have 3 Collected Companies in it, right? Like, if we just top deck land, you got to say that there's hope. But otherwise, you know, we don't have much going on for us over here. Got another Naked Lord. Can't do anything with it. Round 3 on the couch, you could play me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got too lazy. Had to start sitting up straight after this one. This is just a spoiler alert. This is the round I lose. But you get, the thing about a tournament is that you get a free loss, right? You get to just give one away, and it never mattered. I think we mulled a 4. No, we mulled a 5. Nice. And look at how horrible this 5 is. Dwynen's Elite, Shaman of the Pack. This game's actually like kind of close. So we're obviously not going to play a naked Dwynen's Elite. This Leaf Crown thing's going to die. But I don't think we can just play Dwynen's Elite on 2. So they play a thing in the ice. You know, our life is over. We draw the 1-drop. So we can actually trigger this Dwynen's Elite. Maybe we can get something cooking if they don't have anything going on. I think they miss a land drop. I might be remembering incorrectly, though. Yeah. That's my mindset going into it. If I'd respect it so much more. I'm just gonna pause while I say this. I'd respect it so much more if it was a bigger part of the metagame. I still think it's a really good deck. From my understanding, Phoenix struggles with Angels, and Phoenix usually kind of like does really well against the creature decks. And if one of the better creature decks is a deck that it's struggling against, that's not a great place for it. So I think you'd see my sideboard include Shaper Sanctuary and maybe an extra Scavenging Ooze if I was really worried about this. Maybe Memoricide again, that Convoke spell. But as is, I'm fine with just Phoenix being a bad matchup, and we got to cross our fingers. But anyway, I play Shaman of the Pack here because if this thing in the ice flips, I get to trigger Shaman of the Pack again. And we're actually like in kind of a good spot, right? Like I feel like they missed the land drop last turn, right? I think they did. But they untap in Brotherhood's End and we're dead, right? Like there's no recovering from this. So thing in the ice on 1, they're missing land drops. Like there's nothing we can do. I play Visionary here because then we get to draw an extra card when this goes back to our hand, which is great. It's not going to matter, but you know, drawing cards is nice. It's way better than Warmaster, right? They get their Phoenix back. Nothing really exciting happens for the rest of the game. They cast a Treasure Cruise. We need them to have exclusively lands in hand, and that's it. So I play, just a quick pause. I have the opportunity to play Collected Company and Elvish Visionary, or Collected Company or Elvish Visionary and Warmaster. Warmaster plus something else is just about the best thing I can hope for. So I choose to play that and save Collected Company for later. playing this line. You know, maybe we could have gotten like double Warmaster or something like that. That probably is not going to happen. But the nice thing about it is that if I untap with Warmaster after doing a chump block with one of these, Collected Company will trigger Warmaster again, and we can kind of turn off this horror, maybe buy some time. They're at 10. You know, if they have only lands in hand, we can take this one down. But that's all that ends up happening. Piece of the puzzle. They get Treasure Cruise and Spikefield Hazard. We do get the chump. We know that they still have the Spikefield Hazard. We get these, but it doesn't matter. So I attack here. I think this is correct still. So I attack right here. They end up going double removal spell, and we die. I could have left all 3 back. I feel like if I was in this situation again, I'd attack again. Because sure, we lose the double removal spell no matter what. Where we could have only lost to, or we could have beat double removal spell or beat. But we need to get their life total down. Maybe there's hope if I get this 2 damage in. Maybe they shock. Maybe I Collected Company into double Shaman of the pack. You know, there's hope. And I feel like if I'm just holding back, there's no hope. But obviously, lose a game right here. We're done. Game's over. Never had it. Okay. Going to the next one. So we're 2-1. Going to round 4. And I think I didn't play great here. This is Spirits. Mulligan that hand. That hand wasn't that great. We have a Jaspera Sentinel against Spirits, which should feel really good. It doesn't end up feeling really good. This Curious Obsession on turn 2 ends up being really good. So we get Leafcrown Visionary out. We have a blocker here. This is where I think that I make a mistake. Not here. They can draw their card for sure. Right? Where is it? Oh, not here. I think I play Visionary here. I'm going to pause. I think I should have played Dwynen's Elite here so that I could get this chord going. I don't end up doing that. It was also more aggressive by a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, I play Visionary there. Kind of gross play. So first mistake of the match. They couldn't continue developing. We can't block anything. They do leave this back though. Like, think of where we'd be at. I know that we drew this off of the Visionary, but think of where we'd be at if we just had 5 extra power in here, or an extra 3/3. Just seems so much better, and I missed it for sure. This is where I do think I made a mistake. So, first of all, I'm drawing cards on this Leafcrown Visionary, and I'm gonna lose the game because I'm doing this. I have so much gas in my hand, and it's probably enough to win, that I don't need to be drawing cards with Leafcrown Visionary. Maybe on the last spell of the turn, but definitely not on the first, right? Like, if I wanted to get something through, they have things that like counter target spell unless its owner pays 3. They might not use that if I have 3 mana open. And if I didn't try to draw a card here, that would have happened. I end up falling behind a lot in tempo because I keep wasting mana here and not taking advantage of my mana. Not taking advantage of my mana advantage. So that's my first, I think that was wrong. You're going to see me lose a game with a bunch of spells in my hand. This is the next thing I think I did wrong. Notice the Dwynen's Elite that I should have played last turn. I didn't. I'm playing it now, and I'm not able to draw a card off or anything. I think that I should have just played this Jaspera Sentinel and had 2 2/3s to trade with this. I think trading with this makes me able to do a lot more, and at least threatening that would be powerful. But nope, I don't do that. Play the Dwynen's Elite, 7 power on board, but none of it can get through. We could have been attacking with this Dwynen's Elite if we had used it, but yeah, they're just able to play their flash threats, get over us with flying, and once again, having 2 2/3s back would have been pretty insane here. But obviously, we're not doing that. I think they have exactly lethal here. Just quick pause. Yeah. Ooh, Prime sub, Reclamation Sage, very much appreciated. Love the name, by the way. They hit in for exact. So I just want to pause. Yeah, they hit in for exact. This is actually kind of cool because I actually had lethal on their turn. I could untap Shaman and then Chord. And that was exactly lethal. Kind of cool, but actually I had a little bit more than lethal with Jaspera Sentinel. So it was close for sure. They thought a long time about that. I don't know what they were thinking about, but that was definitely a close one. Anyway, going into game 2 after I played really poorly game 1 and almost still won. Frustrating one to lose when I think that I played poorly there. Keep a great hand. Double shock is a little bit rough in this like tempo aggro matchup, but you can't turn down the double Warmaster. We get a lot of tokens. We get a Shaman in the back really early, and it's really hard for them to counter the second Warmaster. We do get to play a tapped Overgrown Tomb here, which is nice. We're going to shock next turn for Warmaster and Elite, but they do miss their second land drop, so they're going to have a really hard time. They get us pretty low for missing land drops, though. So we play Warmaster, we play Dwynen's Elite, we go really wide. I think that this ends up being a potential turn 4 kill. Do you know what to cut for Tyvar? Yeah. Let me pause while I talk about it. So I think Tyvar is really powerful. I have 2 ideas about what to do with Tyvar. I'm either going to be playing Circle of Dreams, Druid, and Tyvar in the main, and like trimming on Chord of Calling or something like that. Because I think that Tyvar plays similarly with like giving your creatures haste. And then I would probably cut the Visionaries. So that's my idea, like if Tyvar's truly super powerful. My other idea is that it's just a board improvement, and like against control and things like that, you might just want it over Vivien. Those are my 2 ideas right now. But I'll be streaming it this week for sure. I have 1 Tyvar. I'm looking to get 3 more. I think it comes out Tuesday, or like officially comes out Tuesday. And I'll try to definitely stream probably on Wednesday some of the builds that I have going. I didn't comment much on that one because it was kind of boring. We keep this 1-lander with a lot of elves, and we draw the best land to lead on, which is nice. I don't think I made any mistakes game 2. I think I tightened up my play a little bit, but I think that I'd love to see people's opinions. Let me know in chat what your opinion on what happens this game is. So we have a really good start. Right, we have our ideal start, and I think that because of my play, we fall behind. So Witness Protection, obviously great play. Okay, so this is where I disagree with my play again. All right, so what would you do here if you're watching? So we have 4 mana. They are representing a possible counterspell, but they could also just like flash in a Lord. I have Leaf Crown. I guess I could go, what are my options? I could go Leaf Crown, Leaf Crown. I could go Leaf Crown, Dwynen's Elite, Leaf Crown, Llanowar Elves, Shaman in the pack, or Shaman in the pack, Llanowar Elves. I think that the best play is to go Dwynen's Elite, Leaf Crown Visionary. I think that's just objectively the strongest play. Double Leaf Crown would be good if this wasn't a business person. We're just not buffing enough things to do that. I kind of like going Leaf Crown last, especially when we're not actually trying to use it to draw cards. And then Elf Shaman, I think it's pretty weak in comparison. That like we want this to be our kind of finisher or surprise damage. So I go Leaf Crown, it gets countered, which is fine. That's completely fine. But then I go Leaf Crown. Like that was so bad. Let me just pause. This was such a bad play. It's getting in an extra 1 damage this turn. And then next turn, like we're not attacking with these. These are lands right now, right? Like eventually they won't be, but right now they are. So Dwynen's Elite was a much better play. I don't know what I was thinking. Like maybe I was thinking that I should get this down before they can counter it or something like that. But I think I'm trapping myself into thinking that I need to draw cards with Leafcrown Visionary, where I definitely don't need to be drawing cards right now. I need to be developing my board. They're representing that flash creature. What's it called? And I play right into it. I think I play Dwynen's Lead right now. I actually like drawing the card here. It's not that bad. Spellcaller, that's what it's called. And they have it. I should have maybe led on Llanowar Elves and drew the card with that, and maybe they thought that was the only spell that they were going to be able to counter. That probably was a better play. I Chord of Calling here. I think this is a mistake. So I Chord for 2. What do you think I get? Like, what are the good options? So I think that there's a really strong argument for Dwynen's Lead where there usually isn't one. I think there's a really strong argument for Leafcrown Visionary, because Leafcrown Visionary gives 3 power, which gets past Spellcaller. And I think that there is a decent argument for Masked Vandal on their Curious Obsession. I could have also tried to go for Masked Vandal on Witness Protection, unlocking this. That actually seems pretty powerful. I don't think that was really worth it. That doesn't solve the problem of me getting past Spellcaller in combat. It doesn't solve the problem of I guess that's the only problem it doesn't solve, which is really big. It does solve the problem, this is what I was trying to say. It does solve the problem of them drawing more cards. They only have 2 cards, I have 1 card, I have a bigger board, so maybe there's an argument for that. I think that I just had better options. You know, they have 3 cards in hand. We're really hoping that they play land so that they have 2 cards in hand, and they do. And we get to Shaman of the Pack here, which is nice. The card we draw isn't nice. This is going to get countered. And this is a mistake again. I couldn't have played Overgrown Tomb and Shock, by the way. But I don't really need to be drawing cards. So letting them just counter something for free, like if that came down, I'm like ahead. But anyway. Play the land, get in as much damage as we can. Obviously, we're not going to attack with this, but we'll attack with everything else. Hope they don't have a creature in hand to flash block. And they just kind of like eat one of our guys. We get them to 8. Why this didn't come down to trade, I'm a little surprised, I guess. They end up... Oh, pause. They make a really cool play here, and I actually kind of like shows their prowess as a player. Coming up. So we draw Jaspera Sentinel. Seems pretty free to draw a card off of it. It blocks, you know, which is great. Don't really get much out of it. It's not really worth making this a 1/1. And then we go to attacks and attack all out. They didn't use this, and that's what I think was really good of them. Doing this, look how much power they have. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're at 9. A Lord wins them the game if they attack in the way that they did. Maybe I shouldn't have played Jaspera Sentinel because of that, and tried to see that, but they played to their outs really well. Just hoping the top card of their deck was a Lord. We end up getting there with Lair of the Hydra. I don't think there's a card in the deck that can possibly get out of this. They're only at 1. So we ended up taking it down. So that was round 4. So Spirits was our round 4. Going to round 5. Not the best starting hand. 4 lands. But it could develop into something good. They reveal that they're on mono green. I think this is mono green. And we're developing rather than going for the card draw, learning our lesson from last game. We can draw a card on Shaman if we want. A little bit of a slow start for mono green. We get the collecting company. I think this is a bad collecting company. Just Warmaster. Not great. Not what we wanted to see. But, you know, it develops our board in a meaningful way, so that's good. This is actually a cool turn. Wolfwillow Haven on the same thing. Old Growth Troll. It's a good blocker. We're going to draw that card with Shaman in the pack. This does a lot of damage. We're going to play Jaspera Sentinel, but not draw a card because we want a Chord of Calling on their turn. It's probably obvious that our last card is Chord of Calling because of that play, but we just have to not die here, and they're dead. So they get this. So what, just quick pause. What is there anything that can get them out of this? I don't think so. So they could, like, if they have a Sky Sovereign main, that would be pretty good. Maybe like Sky Sovereign, Nicol Bolas Dragon God. What else could they get? Sky Sovereign, Kiora, untap, land, pay 3 for another blocker. Maybe. But the Chord makes everything bad. Like, I don't think they can do anything. So yeah, Chord of Calling, end of turn, finishes the game up pretty quick. Going to game 2, round 5. This hand's fine. So this is actually kind of weird. I don't remember if I win or lose this game. But this hand's weird because I've only recently started bringing in Thoughtseize. I wasn't, yeah, Chord does always overperform. The card's really, really good. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. A lot of people are asking me, like, oh, where does Tyvar go? I don't feel like we can make the deck the same with Tyvar. You know what I mean? Like, with Collected Company being a card in the deck, we have to optimize for it. And I can see going to 10 non-creatures. You know, I like it at 8, but I can see going to 10. So cutting Chord is really hard for me. But if Tyvar proves more powerful, which he very well may, then I'm all for it. But I will miss Chord. I think that Chord still belongs in the deck for initially, but I could definitely be wrong. You think we can cut Chord for Tyvar? Yeah, like I feel like I kind of want to be like on a 3-2 kind of thing, like three Tyvar and like still 2 Chord. But maybe Chord's just gone altogether. Tyvar, it's hard to imagine what he can do in a realistic sense. It's easy to imagine like the best thing he can do, but I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. So they have a turn 1 elf this time. That's good for them. Oh, we're playing Thoughtseize. I'm just trying it out. I didn't bring in on a 4. I think I brought in 2. I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend it, but all we're really trying to do is keep him off Karn, and it can be really good at keeping him off Karn sometimes. Oh, whoa. Let's see if we can go back. Okay, let's see if I can pause. Okay. Okay, untap. Oh, they had 2 Karns. I think I reveal it. They have 2 Karns, so we can't take them off of Karn, unfortunately. I'm actually like kind of shocked that they don't Karn here. They Kiora. But I think they win anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Karn getting like boat there would have been really difficult for us. So what my plan is here. So, actually, you know what? Looking back, what am I thinking? Why didn't I play the Elvish Mystic? I guess it's too odd. Like, I kind of want to pretend we don't have anything. It might be me knowing that they have Karn Cavalier. Oh, I revealed it. They have Karn Cavalier in hand. It might be too obvious if I play Elvish Mystic no draw that I'm going to Chord for Phyrexian Revoker. I kind of want them to race their turn by playing Karn. So I hold Chord of Calling. Now you'll see how they win through that. So I'm ready to Chord for Phyrexian Revoker in response to Karn, name Phyrexian Revoker, or name Karn, and then kind of like untap and hope that they don't have a way to deal with my Phyrexian Revoker. That's the plan. But the plan doesn't go very well because they play the Cavalier. I think the Cavalier gets a Nykthos, and I think that they're just going to go off. Oh, they don't go off. Okay. I guess I'm misremembering, putting some games together. All right, so we Chord for Phyrexian Revoker. We don't really have another choice. Our only card in hand is Phyrexian Revoker. We just want to be kind of outvaluing them at this point. They don't have trample, so you know they can't really beat us or anything. I could play the Shaman of the Pack. The Shaman of the Pack does 4 right now. It's not great. They're at 20. With their only card in hand being Karn, like what could they be doing with their turn? Really, their only thing they can do is like make a big Lair of the Hydra and get some attacks in. So I hold up Boseiju just so I can kill the Lair of the Hydra. Things are looking a little bit grim right now, especially with this Oath of Nissa coming down. But things go to plan. They Lair of the Hydra. After Oath of Nissa gets the forest, they activate Lair of the Hydra for big. It's a 9/9, and they're trying to just threaten our life total. We're happy to go to 6 after taking this 10 and trying to just develop. This is a good draw, for sure, because we shock. These are now lethal, so we have to block them every turn. But we get to draw 2 cards off of this. This is a good collected company. You know, we have a game plan. I know that they have Karn in hand. We kind of have to hope that they don't draw anything else. But this is kind of cool. So they attack. We could block. Everything here does something for us, though, right? Like, Lord turns off the only way they can win the game. Mana, Lord, mana. So what I do is I chord for Dwynen's Leap, and we can just use those 2 to block. So this is essentially a fog. So they play their Karn. It's naked, but, you know, we're not going to get through to it, really. So we're going to draw... Oh, we're going to collect a company. I thought I was going to play this, but sure. We collect a company. Reclamation Sage. I could have targeted one of the Wolfwillow Havens, but they just sack it anyway. So whatever I target. So I might as well just, like, take away 1 devotion. And, like, if they top deck a Nicol Bolas Dragon God, then Oath of Nissa doesn't work. We get some card draw in with this Llanowar Elves. And that's it. I think I noticed a misplay here. I drew the Warmaster, and then I chose to draw another card. I think that I didn't have to draw the second card, and I could just played Warmaster. Hindsight's 20/20, though, right? So they get in. Our weakest card is Reclamation Sage. That card has no text on it anymore. And I think that we can just kill them this turn from 20 with no attacks. So we play Warmaster, no card draw. We play Shaman of the Pack, no card draw. And then we have exactly enough to play Shaman of the Pack. So as long as it steals 10, which it dealt 12, then the next Shaman of the Pack gets the job done. So that was great. A little bit of a grind there. I feel like we had to like fade 2 or 3 draw steps, and we did fade 2 or 3 draw steps, so things went according to plan. Going into round 6. 4-1. Keep a solid hand on the play. We got our Mystic. And then they Thoughtseize us. I think that they chose the right card with Thoughtseize with that, depending on their hand. These other 2 are, obviously really good. We do play the Leafground Visionary. Mindset here. Ooh, mindset here for the Leafground Visionary. We get in it for an extra 2. They Thoughtseize and Shocked. That's very good. They can either spend their whole turn killing Leafground Visionary, and then if we draw a land, we can double Warmaster, and we go really wide, which is hard for them to deal with game 1. Or we don't draw the land, and they don't deal with this, then we can just like Warmaster and draw a card. So they played Bloodtithe Harvester, so things are going according to plan. And we shock, play double Warmaster. I don't draw, because I want to go super wide. Bloodtithe Harvester actually can only kill this. I can't kill the Warmasters anymore, which is nice. And we have Chord up. They didn't kill the Leafground last time, so I kind of took a risk here with this Chord of Calling and Chord for another Leafground. It doesn't save this or anything, but we just have a really big board. So we won game 1 against Red Black. To any watchers, the easiest game to win against Red Black is the first one. Their main board isn't super set up against us. Okay, this is a solid hand. We really hope that they don't Thoughtseize our Vivien. And then them leading on Den of the Bugbear is kind of like a best case scenario for us. They can't really use that red mana. Misery Shadow, I feel like shouldn't be left in after board. Could be wrong. We play our Llanowar Visionary, setting up for hopefully an early Vivien. We're not going to block here. But they do, you know, they're getting pretty aggressive. We're not like super ready for them to be this aggressive. I need to develop my mana for this Vivien, so I play Nissa and then Warmaster. It could have been Nissa and then Leaf Crown. No matter what it is, I don't think we are going to block with anything. It's just kind of like removal spells. Oh, you know what? I take it back. I block here because if I'm going to lose, it's going to be to a Shieldred, and I want them to spend the mana to go down to 4. This has done our job, and we have a lot to untap and play, especially this Vivien, so I don't want them playing Shieldred right here. So yeah, take note of that if you're playing this deck. This was a block that I think is like super necessary and easy to miss. So they develop with a bunch of kind of like do nothing threats. These don't do well together if they're removing our things. They're not like taking advantage of this drain, which actually really matters with Shieldred as their top end. So I'm getting ready to play Collected Company because I think that they need a sweeper in order to win. In response to Shieldred, in case my Collected Company draws me a card, I play this first, right? And they probably actually had the Shieldred last turn. And that play, maybe they should have just traded and played Shieldred. It's definitely possible. Anyway, we get to untap in Vivien. We could have last turn too. It's kind of close. But Vivien definitely shores this game up for us. Shaman off the top. Take him down to a really low life total. We have some lords. A little bit worried about Ritual Soot and then kill Vivien with Shieldred, but they lose a lot of creatures that way. Instead, they're just going to do some single target removal spells. Crocs is going to make us discard this extra Vivien, which we don't need anymore. Could have also discarded the Reclamation Sage in case we were worried about Vivien dying, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to win on untap. So we get to use Warmaster's ability, and not even close. Go to the next game. Oh, that was sorry. We don't go to the next game. Go to the next match. Round 7. So this is my winning in. I think that I could have lost and got in, or at least I convinced myself that I could have lost and got in. These are some scrappy games. Not a great mulligan. This is against Control with Yorion. So we played Llanowar Elf. They kept a 7. We kept a 6. We don't draw the land. Yeah, we missed our second land drop. We need things to go really well for us, so it's nice that they just countered our Elvish Visionary. I think they would counter anything else, but I did not give in to temptation by playing the Warmaster. We draw the land now, so we go for Warmaster with Llanowar Elves, and now we're cooking. Now we got something going. A little bit awkward, because I think that it's actually, I'll just pause real quick. This is the block last turn was there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. I think that they needed to just let that 2/2 die. I think that 2/2 is just doing nothing. It's like going against their game plan because they can't drain. If they had the Vivien. That's my thinking. But anyway, where was I? Oh, this is a little bit awkward. So this is like the perfect example, because I talk about threading the needle a lot with sweepers. This is a really good example of where I have to play in the board wipe. I'm losing to any good hand if I refuse to develop my board any further. But I'm also playing into the board wipe, which is more like I needed to hit my second land drop so that I could have had this a turn earlier. in order to successfully just hold up Collected Company for the rest of the game and threaten them like with 4 every turn. So what they, when they board wipe, we Collected Company and we're still in the game. So as it stands, I can't really afford to not continue developing my board. So I play Shaman of the Pack. I trade for a resource 1 for 1. I'm happy about that. And we're just getting in there. Also, them countering Shaman of the Pack is a little bit of a signifier that they don't have a sweeper. Right, like if they just Wrath right here, we're pretty far gone. So here, pause. So I play Elvish Mystic. I think that like it is definitely possible that I can attack with all of these or hold one back. I end up just attacking here for damage. That could have been bad against Wandering Emperor maybe, but this is a bad play. This is like 10 o'clock at night for me. I'm super tired. Why would I collect a company right now? In what world? I mean, I'm going to collect a company this turn, but why would I do it right now? Because if they Wandering Emperor plus, then that's saying they're going to Wrath next turn, right? Like they were holding it. Maybe if they Wandering Emperor -2, that's valuable information, right? They don't currently have the Wrath. If they Wandering Emperor -1, same thing, valuable information. They don't currently have the Wrath. But I didn't let them make that decision, right? Like if they go plus, then I just don't play this Collected Company. So that was a bad play. But I didn't get punished, and that's the important thing. Okay. This person's list was posted on MTG Goldfish. I happen to know that they were playing a Settle the Wreckage. So I know that I have to play around to Settle the Wreckage. That's pretty much their only out right there, right? Like this Nykthos, I think, gives us enough mana to overrun. So if they countered there, they're dead. We also were able to play around like a sensor effect. So I'm playing around Settle the Wreckage here. I need to attack with enough things that I don't lose to or I don't not kill them because of Wandering Emperor. They're tapping a little bit early, but I don't not kill them with Wandering Emperor, but I still survive after Settle the Wreckage. I think I attacked with one too many things. I didn't need to attack with this. I just needed to attack with these. But whatever, it didn't matter. I also chose to attack with a token, so my devotion's still high, so that I can still activate Warmaster. So they need a sweeper here or they're dead. The list that I was looking at only ran 1 Settle the Wreckage. This attack scared me. This attack was scary. Because this is what control players do when they're about to Wrath, right? They throw this in there. I ended up taking it, but yeah, that scared me. So I'm playing these because if they Settle the Wreckage and I somehow lose this, I want the 2 tokens that I'm going to get out of it. It's also free because Nykthos is going to activate. So, and we win. Okay. So that was game 1. Winning a game 1 against control when we miss our second land drop feels very good. So we're going to game 2. I thought that I was a lock to win this one. Well, this game is actually really interesting. It's kind of like, it was shocking to me that I lost. Look how good this hand is against control. And I even played the next turn well. This person, Hell Monkey, played really, really well. So I played the Jaspera Sentinel to kind of bait out a Jwari Disruption. I could have just played around the Jwari Disruption for the rest of the game. I don't think I'm really winning that way. So I kind of like wanted to bait that out. We can Thoughtseize like the important things later on. This is a hand that's really good at 1-for-1ing. That was my mindset. So I let them counter the Jwari Disruption, having the second land, so that I can play this and Thoughtseize. So really great board development here. We take Wandering Emperor. They had Omen of the Sea in a pathway. So we play Warmaster and then Elvish Visionary, and the Elvish Visionary is countered. Oh no, it's not countered. What am I talking about? We don't get the 1/1. Drawing Collecting Company feels really good there. We looked at their hand and they didn't have a Wrath. And they Wrath. Really bad. I probably should have Thoughtseized somewhere earlier in that. Because playing around their Wrath is so important. There's a lot of game left. They're at 20. They only have 2 cards. Not much is going on. These are really good cards. So it looks like we're kind of in this game. Obviously, you probably saw that we do have one more after this. But yeah, I feel like I sequenced well, but maybe it was a little bit risky giving them 2 draw steps without Thoughtseizing. Maybe I should have done that differently. Pause here. I don't think this is what I should have grabbed. It's going to be really hard for me to untap and actually use this. Nissa was there, which is enticing. Gets the land out of the deck. It replaces itself. Sets me up for Vivien if I end up drawing it, which is great. And they have the second Wrath. This list only plays 2 Wrath, so like maybe that's what I was thinking. I know that they only have 2 Supreme Verdicts in 80 cards, so like it's kind of hard for them to have the Wrath next turn, but they had it, so we still have good things going on. Llanowar Visionary. Play the Elvish Mystic. They only have 1 card in hand. We definitely have potential. They buy Yorion. Thoughtseizing Yorion feels really feels like it will be good. We draw the land that can do that. I valued Thoughtseizing Yorion more than I valued Shaman, so I was trying to bait this into an Absorb or something like that. Because if they had 1 card in hand after, I feel like it would be really powerful. If they land Yorion, we're pretty dead. They have a Drawry Disruption and a March of Otherworldly Light. Those are 1-for-1s. We can beat that. Anytime we draw Vivien, we're in this. Oh, you asked for deck. Is Stream Decker not working? I should have Stream Decker up. But I only have 13 cards on my sideboard, so that's bad. Let me fix that. Skyreaping. We have 2 of these. Add those in. Update. Yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. Okay. Mission Briefing is a sweet card here. I don't know. It's probably I don't know how good it actually is, but Mission Briefing into Supreme Verdict is rough. They have 1 land left or 1 card left. We get to get in with Lair the Hydra. Once again, we're just hoping to draw Vivien. Got 3 of them. We know that they have a March of Otherworldly Light in their hands. If I didn't know that, I might have tried to get in Lair for 4. But I know that no matter when I activate that, that's what they're going to do. They scry 1 top. That's scary. Memory Deluge pretty much wins them the game. Make a big misplay here. They either guess this. I put it on top. What was I thinking? I don't know. I should have put it on bottom. I was just like, oh, it's value, right? I think putting it on bottom is the most important. Is more important, because I just need to top deck Vivien, and if I top deck it here, I can't do anything. Yeah, stock elves. What's up, son of Apollo? All right, we got that one. This is the game 3 for the win in the top 8. Match 7. We keep a great hand. Not a good hand, a great one. I guess it's 1 card off of being perfect, right? We want any other card other than Overgrown Tomb or one of the lands. They do have Fateful Absence. So this is actually kind of interesting. They exile. I don't know if I am able to reveal it. Still full of Chinese food. Yeah, that was good. They exile Fateful Absence with March of Otherworldly Light. So they really wanted us to not have mana acceleration. I don't know about that play. I feel like they could wait to see us Warmaster and then just kill the Warmaster. That's just me. Or just not do it at all. Because Fateful Absence is really good in this matchup. So I found that a little bit confusing. Obviously, I don't play control, so like maybe it's just like the way that they were using their mana, you know, bolt the bird kind of thing. But yeah. What did I do with that? I put Warmaster on bottom. I'm just looking to draw into Vivien. Portable Hole ends up being pretty good here. They had some really good interaction here, actually. I forgot how good this was. I take Farewell instead of Fateful Absence because when we play Fateful Absence, we get to draw a card. Or when they play Fateful Absence. I attack with this rather than develop my board further with Llanowar Elves because if I draw a Lord, I can draw an extra card off of it. That was really it. I went for the Lair of the Hydra stand up because they have failed to ruin. I wanted to force it. And then whatever I get, I can use for Llanowar Elves, which is nice. I make a super obvious play. I make a little bit of a mishap obvious play here. So I draw Collected Company, and I don't crack the clue. Like, how obvious is it that I have Collected Company in my hand right here? Like, there's no way this is anything other than Collected Company. A little bit too obvious of a play. I probably should have cast it earlier, but I'm kind of the mindset right here that if they like Wrath or like do anything, I'll Collected Company. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like keep attacking with these 2/1/1s. They have 3 cards in hand. I'll crack this clue token. So I'm kind of the mindset where I'm forcing them to have it. So I play Warmaster, play my Nykthos, and I attack for 2. Wandering Emperor would be good here. They don't have Wandering Emperor, which is great for us. And they have the Supreme Verdict. We get to Collected Company off of that. That's exactly kind of how we drew it up, which is nice. And we hit a pretty good top 2 cards. Not great. 2 damage. We're going to hit for 5, bring them to 5. But we, you know, it's Leaf Ground. So we get to kind of like force them to have another Wrath. This is another card draw. We get to force them to have another Wrath. So it's kind of, we're putting them on, have the Wrath or lose. They don't Wrath us here, which is perfect. So we have to play around Settle the Wreckage now. So that's fun. So this is, check these attacks out. Okay. 9 viewers. Thanks for watching. We keep growing. Okay, so these are the attacks that I chose. So what I'm playing around is we already played against this person playing Settle the Wreckage. They only play 1. But we have to play around it, right? And we have to attack with enough things that we're actually threatening lethal through Wandering Emperor, which is much more likely for them to have. So the mindset here is that if they Settle the Wreckage, we get to Boseiju their Portable Hole on their turn and then have a surprise like extra attackers when they might think that we only have Warmaster. That's the idea. What ends up happening is they just die. But I still like those attacks thinking back at it. We had to attack with 3. We're on to top 8. So this starts being a little bit fidgety now. My Surface was not handling this very well. So we had to mold a 6. This is not the hand that you want to keep against mono green on a mulligan. So let's go ahead 30 seconds. So I skipped through it a little bit. We top deck the Jaspera Sentinel for our turn 2. Sorry, this is messing up so much that I skipped a little bit too far ahead. They have obvious board development. We chose to play Jaspera Sentinel over Dwynen on turn 2. And we continue to progress our board. So we play Visionary, we play Jaspera Sentinel. We're just trying to progress our board. We don't have great things going on. They play Cavalier. It's hands like these where it's like we hope that they only have ramp, and if they have anything other than exclusively ramp, then we're dead. Right? We need them to have exactly all lands in hand. We keep advancing our board. We play Shaman in the pack, get some damage in, and then we have access to Chord of Calling for 2. Just want to point that out. Chord of Calling for 2 is potential. It's not really great, right? Like Chord for 2, what do we get? We can get a Lord, we can get a Warmaster. Neither of those things are like super powerful right now. But they're not doing as much as they want to for sure either. Cracking a Wolfwillow Haven is very good for us. So I end up doing nothing with Chord, because just take a moment. If I Chord for Shaman, I deal 7, I give them halfway. I mean, what it does do is if I top deck Shaman, then they're dead, right? But they're dead if I top deck Shaman no matter what. So I didn't Chord for anything, even though it was like, I don't know. Oh, wait. Oh, I could have only gotten a 2-drop. Yeah, getting a 2-drop doesn't do anything there. I take everything back. Play Warmaster, get a surprise. Shaman, hopefully, is the new plan. Now, they can easily go off and beat us and we're dead, but they don't end up doing that. Wolfwillow Haven. Crack Wolfwillow Haven. Feel like we're in a great spot. So we get the Shaman. They're at 5. We have to get in with 3 creatures. 2 creatures if we can pump Warmaster. And this is where I tank a little bit, because we actually don't have enough to get through. So we can pop Warmaster, and when I pop, use the 7 mana ability on Warmaster, I tap Warmaster because I want to be able to use it next turn too. So what an attack here does is if they're blocking, they're losing Devotion, which is great, and we're winning most of these trades. Whatever these 2 take down, we'll lose those trades, but everything else we're just taking out. And it does eat away at their Devotion. If they're blocking with Cavalier, they can get, you got to check what they have in their graveyard, and they don't have anything really worth getting. Maybe Oath of Nissa. They probably should have grabbed Oath of Nissa. But their Devotion is taken down, so it's a lot harder for them to go off with like a Devotion of 4. So we just go for the attack. And this is where my surface does not... Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, thanks for the sub. Very much appreciated. New follower. Thank you. Very much appreciated. This is awesome. This has been a great weekend for me. Anyway, we attack with everybody. They're going to trade where they can. This one was a little bit hard to play. I haven't really played against green in a way that the game ended up going this way. They get Old Growth Troll. I feel like maybe they just need the Devotion. I was thinking that Oath of Nissa for like Karn would have been better, but now they don't have enough Devotion to do that. So yeah, thanks for the 2 subs. Thanks everybody. Really much, very much appreciated. Surface is not doing well right now. Sometimes when you run MTGO on a computer, it starts to break down after you've gone through 10 hours, and my Surface was even worse. So they draw with their Old Growth Troll and concede. Going into game 2. Yeah, going into game 2. Now this is 11 viewers. Thanks for watching. This is kind of an upset. My hand is insane. If I could have any hand in the game, it's this hand, right? Mystic into Elvish Warmaster, Mystic into Shaman of the pack, right? And then we hope to get there with other things. This hand is absolutely insane. And I was like, wow, this is locked up. But you'll see what happens. Drawing the Mystic is fine. We're not super upset about that or anything. We even have the Nykthos. Like, look how powerful this hand is. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna skip ahead 30. No, okay. It's not as bad as I remember. Obviously, this is mono green. They can combo you really quickly. They get the Oath of Nissa. They get the Karn. Karn's scary. So we play the Warmaster. We play the Elvish Mystic. We're gonna go super wide. We have some really powerful things in our future. Wolfwillow Haven into some development. So I'm worried about Karn, but Karn's not that great here, which is nice, right? They don't develop anymore. Still at 20. Get that second Warmaster. Now this is where, I'm like, we can't lose. That's literally what I'm thinking right now. We can't lose. Look how powerful those first 3 turns are. Just like actually probably the most powerful that our turns can possibly be. They'd have to have so many blockers to untap and actually, yeah, they'd have to have a lot of blockers to not die to just combat damage. They end up going off with Storm the Festival, and I think I just quit because they win. Just spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, they win. Storm the Festivals, getting Nykthos. I know they have a Karn in hand. Like, Karn just wins the game when it minuses no matter what. They get Woodcaller Automaton. Yeah, I just quit. So they won. I let them go a little bit longer, but I didn't watch anymore here. Okay, we win the die roll. Well, obviously, we're on the play. You can see I put that Thoughtseize back. We mulled a 6. This is fine. We're not thrilled about it. It's not like our last turn. We started off with Mystic. Obviously, that's good. Okay. So anybody that's newly watching, I was on my Surface when I recorded this, so I had to put it on my computer, and so we're watching a video of me just going through the replays. So it's not exactly the quality that I'd usually have it on, but the best I could do. They missed their second land drop, which is great for us. Develop a little bit and then hold Chord of Calling. Chord of Calling can get a couple things. Lord is really good. We already have the Phyrexian Revoker, and they obviously don't have Boseiju because I would have played it. But they do start to, gain some traction here. Kiora, they obviously have all gas in hand. But we do get to Chord 4. I don't even remember what we get. I'm going to guess Lord. We do get Lord, yeah. And then this Collected Company, I think is like not that great. We just get 2 creatures, get in for some damage. There's an argument for maybe waiting because of the Reclamation Sage, but oh, sorry. I'm just gonna pause and read chat. Stop thinking that any game is locked at any point. Yeah, no, I'm exaggerating a little bit when I thought it was locked up, but just my hand was really powerful, and it's just surprising to lose with that amount of power. You know what I mean? It's not like those decisions like caused me to misplay in the future turns or anything like that, or like I overextended because I thought it was locked up. Just looking back, it's like, wow, that's such a powerful hand. You know what I mean? This is actually a kind of cool decision point coming up. So obviously Chord of Calling looks like it's super powerful here, and it is, wins us the game, but not in the way that I think that you'd expect. Okay, so this is their turn. Storm the Festival was fine. They're continuing their board development. They kept a 1-lander, so they're having a little bit of a hard time. But this is where I get to use Chord of Calling. Now, this is where the math comes in. So if we Chord of Calling for on our next turn, that's 1, 2, 3. Sorry, this doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Shaman. If we Chord for Shaman, that's not lethal because this is not an elf. So we'd have to top deck an elf in order for Chord to be lethal. And if we spend 3 and then tap 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we could have attacked and still get on there. Okay. Maybe my tired brain was thinking of it wrong. But is actually lethal from this turn is I can chord this turn for a 1-drop. And then no matter what I draw, we just have lethal on board. I had to think a little bit for that line, but you know what? Maybe I just had it the whole time anyway. But now on to the semis. Round 9. There we go. Lost it for a sec. Okay, so we are against control on the play. Much better start than last time. We get our second line drop, so that's great. So this is a nice moment to talk about. This is a really good hand against control. I love Dwynen's Elite Game 1 against control if we can get it down early, because it means that we can hold Collected Company for a while. 3 damage a turn is kind of a lot. It's hard for them to 1-for-1 it with anything else. So we're in a pretty good spot. Even better with this Elvish Visionary. Obviously we're going to be attacking, but we have this 2 turns ahead of a sweeper on their part. So we're going to be able to get them down to 10 before they're forced to Wrath, and then we can sneak in a Collected Company. So here they're forced to Wrath. There it is. And then we can Collected Company after. So that worked out really, really, really well for us. Okay. So here I play Llanowar Visionary. And we're going to draw 2 cards because of Leafcrown Visionary. I'm figuring that they're forced to Wrath and that this Chord of Calling can be good later on anyway. So they're at 2. So you know, at any point we can like chord and get out of that one. But then we mold a 4. Feels not as bad to mold a 4 when you have the first game already. But this is probably the best mold a 4 of all time. The Warmaster resolves. We play the Elvish Mystic, and it still resolves. So I'm like, oh, there's hope. Maybe they have like a bad hand. Obviously, we're not beating a Wrath with this hand, so I'm playing hard into it. They counter. We try to go for more. They don't have the Wrath again. Stand up the Lair. They gotta field it. Or they don't have to, but they're probably going to field it. They're going to field it anyway, so might as well force them to. And they have the Wrath. But we got them to 10. I was pretty happy with that. I guess we keep playing. I thought I conceded after that, but you know, we can keep going. This is where they play Archangel Avacyn, which I, out of respect for Archangel Avacyn, have to concede. Sweet card for sure. Okay. Untap. We keep this hand. We have Elvish Mystic. Into Warmaster, we drop top deck Jaspera Sentinel, so it's, you know, the best hand in the whole world. And this hand just keeps getting better. Double Shaman into this, like on the play, this is so fast. So they're at 9, and they just concede. I didn't even realize it says Xbox Greg wins over here. I was waiting at my computer like, when are they going to take their next part? But yeah, they just concede. Shaman was too good. Obviously, we have another Shaman coming. They're a whole mana off of sweeping. I also was thinking, like, I'll just pause. I had Reclamation Sage in hand, and I think that this was a list that played Lockdown. So we had insurance against that too, which was good. All right, on to the finals. Play red-black mid-range here. Keep a fine hand. Nothing special. Just a couple Jaspera Sentinels doing their job. I was really shocked. So just quick pause. I was really shocked to see that as their Thoughtseize target. Maybe they didn't want us to double spell there, right? It kind of like insanely signals that they have another Thoughtseize next turn. I wish that I had a 2-drop or something else here to take advantage of our mana. We don't end up having it. But I'm thinking next turn definitely that we're going to see a Thoughtseize because they're not letting us untap with the Llanowar Visionary, but they do. So I was a little bit confused. You know, we're not in a great spot. But this is kind of cool. So this is a play that I think, so they're obviously removal light, I feel like, and maybe that's not obvious. But I felt like with what I had going for me, I had to kind of make some risky plays to end up winning this one. So this ends up being kind of cool. So I attack with this, and then I chord for Leafcrown Visionary. A little bit of a combat trick. And then they play Shieldred. And Shieldred's, you know, great here. But we get to draw 10 cards before, or 9 cards before the game ends. Which is, you know, just enough. We draw the Collected Company. We really came back quickly from that. Thank you. Very much appreciated. So in response to Kroxa, I Collected Company. I probably shouldn't have taken this. I was thinking that if it was Chord, I could use it or something like that. We ended up just taking an extra 2 damage there. Bad play. Bad play. Our life total is getting a little bit low. We're a little bit nervous, but Chord of Calling is a great top deck. I almost, so it's like 1 a.m. at this point. I almost misplayed hard here. So I'm thinking that I can chord for 5, and we're attacking with Leafcrown Visionary. That's my thought process. And if you do the math here, it's 18 damage. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can't win this turn. This is horrible. But then I remembered that I was thinking Leafcrown Visionary is, you know, +1 damage for each creature. But if I don't attack with this, Shaman Pack is just +1 damage for each creature, whether or not it's blocked. So I thought for like 4 minutes here. And then I made these attacks, and then I just had Chord the whole time. So I kind of felt bad here. But yeah, Chord is lethal. Going into game 2, last match. Keep this. It's not great, but it's fine. They do a Thoughtseize. They take Shaman. I wouldn't have taken Shaman there. I would have taken Llanowar Visionary for sure. But we don't know what they have going on. Play our Llanowar Elf. Get some solid development into the future. I play Llanowar Visionary. So this is actually kind of tough, but I think it might be better to play Mystic and Visionary. Like no matter what, we're playing into a Wrath. I guess that plays into a Wrath a little bit less. But I just think that like if they have the removal spell for this, it might have been better to spread it across 2 creatures. We draw the Vivien, so we're just crossing our fingers that they don't Thoughtseize, and they don't cast anything. Weird. We just play our Vivien, plus it up. Don't know really what to expect here. They don't cast anything on their turn 4 either. I'm a little confused still. I'd love to see that from their perspective. I'm just like, I guess I'm asking myself, what did they keep? Did they see a Thoughtseize and a Shieldred and think that would get there? Shieldred wasn't really good enough here. Are they waiting for us to overextend to a sweeper? Like, do they have double sweeper? It's really hard to tell. But, you know, get some board development in. I think I make a mistake here, by the way. So we get some board development, obviously. And then I play these 2. Just quick pause. The reason I did is because it does 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 12, right? It's perfectly lethal. They haven't really done anything recently. 16 viewers, thanks for watching. But it's kind of like overextending too much. It doesn't end up mattering at all. But I think it's a little bit of a hiccup. This was obviously a really good set of draws off the top. Got Nissa coming. We still get the draw trigger off of that. Get our Warmaster. Get our Trampler. You know we have something coming next turn. They Shieldred, which is you know, a little bit scary. It's hard. We don't have any ways to deal with Shieldred in the main. But we don't really have to draw too many cards to win the game. So we keep, you know, advancing with Vivien. We play our Nissa Vastwood Seer to get a land. Gets the top card of the library to be something else, which is great. Gets it to be Collected Company, which is even better. And we don't really have any attacks. They go to 14. Yeah, they stomp this. They braid this. They got a pretty good hand. But we have Vivien. All right, so top card, Shaman of the Pack. Awesome. All right, minus. Oh, whoa. We -2 to play the Shaman of the Pack. So when you -2 on Vivien, you get to search for something with a lower converted mana cost. So what that allows me to do is I get to search for, what's it called? Oh, they have no cards in hand. I get to search for Warmaster. So I get my Warmaster. I actually deeply considered getting Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze gets me a lot of life back, which is nice, but I thought we could go for it. So I see this. You're about to see me make a pretty big misplay, but it doesn't matter. So Shaman trigger on the stack. I see that there's a Warmaster on top. I could get a lot of creatures out. I should have let this Warmaster trigger resolve, but I don't because I'm bad. And we Collected Company in response to both, and we get another Shaman Warmaster. So once again, I stack these triggers incorrectly, but we got there anyway. It would have been exactly lethal without combat, but it still was exactly lethal with combat. So that's the whole thing. So we got the win for the challenge, and people were asking for that. That's going to go on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch, which is 13 viewers, thanks. I will be streaming this week some Tyvar gameplay. So if you're interested in coming back for that, make sure that you follow. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon. I just put an article up on playingpioneer.com, so if you are interested in seeing an in-depth sideboard guide, I have that on my Patreon or on Playing Pioneer, where you can access that. Who got them? Yeah, Prime subs. If you have Prime subs available, that's free for you. So that would be great if you supported the channel that way. And I guess the last thing that I wanted to do is I got these 102 chests. I wanted to open them on stream, do a little celebration. So let's open these up, see what we get. Open all. 1,000 play points. All right, let's see. Brazen Borrower. Fable. That's big, right? That's a big one. I don't know if Brazen is. Oh, there's the Ragavan. Archon. Prismatic Vista. March of Otherworldly Light. A bunch of nothing. Arid Mesa. Okay. Beastmasters. Oh, I think Brutal Cathar is a little pretty penny. Let's keep going. I've never opened this many chests at one time. This is awesome. All right. Dryad. Nice. That's a good one. Emergent Ultimatum. Hangerback Walker. I don't think that's worth anything, though. Just a card I like. Oh, another Leyline. Complete our set. Okay. Thanks for the follow, Pittsburgh Phil. Very much appreciated. Reckoner Bankbuster, nice. Scalding Tarn, nice. Spire Bluff Canal, I think that might be worth something. Seachrome Coast. Did I miss anything big? Thanks for chatting. All right, that's it. So we got some good stuff. I don't know what the biggest thing is, though. Maybe Fable. I don't think Dark Death is worth anything. Could be, though. Could be wrong. Oh, I missed Fury. Mr. Fury. All right, sweet. Okay, well, what time is it? Where I am, 10:50. All right, this is about my bedtime. So I got to be getting off soon. If you're interested in coming back once again, drop a follow. If you have any questions about the deck, be happy to answer them. You can message me on Twitter or come back and ask questions. But I'm out. So have a good one, everybody. Good night. Have a good start to your week.